Hello dear friends, I'm Roland, homeopath in Royston on Vancouver Island. Welcome to my newsletter news video, and today it's already past the first half of January, and I hope you had a good start of the year 2023. And when we start a new year, often we started with lots of good intentions and things we want to do and accomplish, and sometimes a part of this good intention is also to give up certain things or to give away certain things. Certain things, often it's things that we don't like about ourselves or that create problems in our life. And sometimes that's a great idea, and sometimes it's difficult or not really helpful. So let's talk about that a little bit. Because I hear a lot of somebody say, yes, I do a ceremony or a ritual and write down what I don't want, like I want to let go of my fear and write it on a paper and burn it and give it away, or I speak it in a stone and throw the stone in the ocean or in the river, or whatever. Yeah. So, and these rituals can be really a good support for new directions, making a new choice. Now let's talk about a little bit when that makes sense and when it doesn't, because there are some things we better not give away. Imagine our body would be a garden. In the garden, whatever we harvest from the garden, and we eat our cabbage and all the garbage goes on the compost, and it's the flowers and the potatoes of tomorrow. So we don't give them away. That would be exploiting the garden more and more, and it would create more and more poverty for tomorrow and for the future. So certain things need to be recycled, and in being recycled and composted, they get transformed and are really a benefit or support for the future. And the same thing it's with ourselves. Certain things we don't want to give away. For example, something that, it's from person to person, it's different what we don't like in ourselves. Somebody might not like that he or she is afraid. Another one might not like his or her anger or grief and whatever. And next one, a certain behavior, maybe addiction to sugar or things like that. Now, when it's about, there's a ground rule. Everything that has substance and that is really true can be transformed and serve the future. Everything that's a lie or illusion or judgment is not really true, and that we just can't give away. We just drop it because it's not helpful and that it cannot be transformed. Why? Because in order to be transformed, things need to have substance, they need to be true. When I say I'm afraid and I don't like my fear, that is a difficult thing to give away. I might feel uncomfortable with my fear, but actually the fear says I had an experience in the past that is not digested. And now I run around with the fear that something could happen to me again. So it's not giving the fear away, it's taking care of the past that's needed then. Because the fear says, I'm hurt. Nobody would, because the arm is hurting, say, okay, let's give away that arm. We would end up as a cripple. And the same thing, we would end up as a cripple when we give our fear away. Do you know how that can look like when somebody is not able to feel fear because of an accident or brain bleed that hurt exactly that area in the brain that's responsible where we can feel fear? People like that have a very hard time to navigate their life. They do not feel when a situation is not good or is dangerous. They don't feel it. They don't feel if somebody is not honest to them. And that makes it very hard to to get an orientation in life, to know what's right or wrong in a certain situation. And then we have starting to think it over because we don't feel it. The feeling is right there, something is right or wrong, yeah? But to think, we cannot think truth, we only can feel truth. So this thinking makes it difficult. And it's only a replacement where the feeling is missing. So this is something we should not give away. Another example, yes, this desire for sugar. Many people have that. What it really is, and it's not helpful because it also ruins on the long run our health. So that is something we should look at. But only giving it away without looking at it, what it stands for and what's behind it, what's the energy or the need that the function that it fulfills in our life, is often also not helpful. And especially when we look at sugar, yes, when you have a desire for sugar, it's often a desire for the sweetness of life, for the sweet side of life, for the sweetness of love. And it shows that there was a time in our life when we were really missing that sweetness. When we replace that with sugar, our desire for love, then our body feels for a little while as if we would receive, or as if we would be loved. But of course it's only an illusion, it just copies the body sensation. And like every drug, it's only temporarily that it kind of satisfies us. It's only a lie because it's not true. There is not more love when we eat sugar, and it comes with a cost, with a price. It steals energy from our life and a little bit of our health every time we indulge in it. And the other thing is, it also takes away our orientation, our navigation system. When we know I'm yearning for love, then this yearning guides me to love and helps me to see, okay, what's between me and love? Why do I avoid it? Maybe there's a fear, maybe I've been hurt before, but it shows me when I follow that yearning for love, what's in the way and what needs to be dealt with in order to get there. When I replace it with a drug, for example with sugar, this desire to get there is not big anymore, and the desire then goes more in the direction of the drug than of what would really fulfill us. So this is a habit that we can give away, but only when we take care of the yearning, when we allow the yearning to arise and then work with this yearning to guide us the way to love. So this is just a few examples. And for the example of fear, we also don't want to give away fear, because when we deal with fear, when we integrate fear, what is fear? Fear is a feeling. It needs to be felt, it wants to be expressed and to be received from somebody, witnessed, and it needs relationship to be digested. And when fear is digested, then it turns into curiosity for life. So when we follow fear and compensate fear and follow the advice, or run away, we want to get away from fear, it's not a good idea. We want to go into fear, we want to feel it and do what it needs in order to digest that fear and in order to set free the potential that is included in the core of the fear. And this is the curiosity for life. And this is something we want to have for our life. It sparks our life, it moves us. So this is just a few examples. So it's good to examine what is it that we want to give away and what is it that we need to work with in order, because it's going to benefit us in the future. So to sum it up, what we give away is habits, Sometimes when only some habits have a reason, and then we need to take care of the reason why we developed that habit. But when we did that, sometimes only the habit is left. Drop it. Everything, judgments, illusions like drugs, these are lies, these are things that are just not true. We can't give them away. To sum it up, we give away everything, the desire that life should be different than it is, because we only can meet us where we are and start from there, and we only can meet life exactly the way it is, and this is where we start from. This does not mean we condone and we have to like everything, but we have to see it, to accept it, and this is where we start, because we only have this reality. Everything else is an illusion. Thank you for listening, and I hope that this clarification is helpful for you. Take care and see you next time.